Welcome to episode 6 of After Class. I will be talking to Bibi Aysha Bhyat, who is all the way in Qatar at the moment. We have a little bit of technical issues with regard to the. I think it's the long distance that is becoming the issue. But inshallah, if we can speak to Bibi Aysha Bhyat, I'll just go quickly with her bio again. Is she joining us? Hopefully. Okay, so Bibi Aysha Bhyat has been in Qatar for the past 9.5 years. Prior to that, she lived in South Africa and she did supply teaching at Roshni Muslim School as well as Benoni Primary School. And she has taught learners from the ages from grade 4 all the way up to grade 12. So at the moment, she is a deputy head of the primary school in an all-boys British international school all the way in Qatar. Bibi Aysha believes that if you love what you do, you will do it with love. And she's very passionate about learning and teaching and getting, training learners to become critical thinkers. And we're just waiting now for Bibi Aysha to be able to join us once again. Hopefully the technical issues iron themselves out. I thank you, viewers. I think we've lost a few from the first round. But if you do have any comments or questions, please post them in the comment section at the bottom, and we will get to them at the very end. We're just trying to see if Bibi Aysha can in some way join us, hopefully. So if you do know somebody who would like, if you or somebody you know would like to join me on this platform, I do have an opening in 2 weeks' time, and then I'm done, and then I'm full again till the 3rd of December. But that would then be the end of season 1 of After Class, and then 2022, inshallah, January, we'll start with season 2. Okay, I'm going to invite again, and hopefully, Bismillah, this works. Okay. Oh, she has also requested, so I will accept. All sorts of things happening here, technical difficulties on the After Class show today. Hopefully this one works. We have a comment here. I was a student of Muallima Bibi Aysha, and now I am in my 10th year of teaching. I actually missed, who was this? Bibs_D. Jazakallah for your comment, Bibs_D. That's amazing that you were once Bibi Aysha's student and now in your 10th year. So you've just celebrated your own 10th teaching anniversary. If you personally would like to join me on this platform one day, DM me and we'll try to make a plan of it, inshallah. We do seem to be having endless issues with the technical aspect today. Bibi Aysha is all the way in Qatar, and I think it's the very long distance that's making it difficult for us. Well, you know, if it's not the technical issues, then it's going to be the load shedding. So we just choose one of them. We have a question from Razina Arbi, who we interviewed not too long ago. Is it more stressful teaching in Qatar or South Africa? I think that's a good question. Bibi Aysha has experience of both, and hopefully when she does join us, then we will be able to ask her that question. Okay. This is the name of the game when it comes to, okay, it's not picking it up anymore, BIBS. Okay, it's not picking up her name anymore. I don't know how this works now. So if you, I have another question from Bibs_D. How has technology impacted teaching in South Africa and in other countries? Another question from Charles2506. How do we apply to teach in Qatar? Lots of beautiful questions coming in. Hopefully, we will be able to get some answers from Bibi Aysha as very, very soon. I hope you don't lose hope and leave this video. If you could just leave it playing until we finally fix our technical issues, that would be amazing. Would you make a note of the questions? Okay, because I'm losing them now. So lots of lovely questions coming in. If you would like to ask any more questions, please put them in the comment section. Hopefully we will be joined soon by Bibi Aysha. Thank you for joining us. If you don't know who I am, then let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Wahida Joseph. I myself am a teacher as well as a wellness counselor. My journey in education began actually through psychology. So I studied psychology, and I went up to honors level. And in my own personal journey, I had a choice of whether to go on to do masters or to go on to do or rather do a PGCE. And since I had a tiny baby, I chose to do the PGCE and put the masters on hold, inshallah, just for now. And then I fell in love with teaching, and then I absolutely fell in love with teaching, although it wasn't completely brand new to me. Assalamu alaikum, Bibi Aysha. I'll just keep talking until Bibi Aysha can join us for good. So I used to teach English as a foreign language. I did my Cambridge CELTA all the way back in 2004, I think it was, another lifetime ago. And that began my journey into teaching, although I taught mostly adults. And I think I can tick off all the countries in the world where I taught people from. It was a lovely, lovely experience until 2008 when I had to, when I was retrenched. Yes, I was retrenched. It was a bittersweet moment. And my baby was born soon after that. And it led me on to another journey in education and in training, and then eventually onto the PGCE. So Bibi Aysha is definitely trying to join us. I'm sure you can see from your side. Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear us, Bibi Aysha? Thank you, Razina Albi, for offering some solutions. You were also in Qatar for a year, so you can also help with that. Thank you so much. If you look, just scroll onto the comments and you'll see some suggestions on how you can apply to teach in Qatar. And we're definitely having some technical issues on that side, but hopefully it does. I know soon. I, for one, am most excited to hear about what Bibi Aysha has to share with us, about getting our first international perspective here on After Class, and comparing teaching in South Africa and teaching internationally. There will be maybe do sound with no video. That's a suggestion we have from someone. Maybe do sound with no video. I'm going to just check with my producer if that's going to work, because I'm not all that technically clued up. I can just keep talking. I'm very comfortable. If you're comfortable listening, I'm comfortable talking. So we're just going to try again, because that's how technology works. We've had a good 5-episode run, and we didn't have these issues before, but it had to happen at some point. I just do hope that we do get to do, we do get to hear Bibi Aysha, because I am super excited to have my very first international guest here on After Class. We've got lots of viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. We are having some technical difficulties, and we're trying to get in touch with Bibi Aysha on this IG live. She is in touch with my producer. You can give her a follow at raisa.jusuf. She's doing such an amazing behind the scenes job here. I didn't get an invitation yet. I must invite again. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to invite again. Okay, the name's not popping up again. Okay, let's see what happens. So if you are interested in, you know, just feeling good about yourself, your own personal wellness, then visit the What Wady Says website. It's www.whatwadysays.co.za, and you will find resources and blog posts and services and products all related to wellness. And all of these products are separated or categorized according to wellness domains. So there are 8 domains of wellness, and let me see if I can rattle them off to you now. There's the emotional wellness, there's environmental wellness, financial wellness, intellectual wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, social wellness, as well as vocational or occupational wellness. And all of these put together, I'm not getting, I'm finding it difficult to invite now. Eh? It's not picking up. Okay, so all of these 8 wellness domains put together, you know, working on it, individually yourself, you can tailor-make your very own wellness journey. There is a suggestion that because the video isn't working and I'm unable to invite her anymore, and the other invitations were not successful, that we do a video call instead. Unless another suggestion that I might have is to maybe do this offline and as a pre-recorded session if it doesn't work out. Or we'll just wait a few more minutes and see if that is a feasible way to go. Okay, so we're just going to try again. How will we work the video call? FaceTime. Where? Oh, okay. Okay, so my lovely producer and sister, Raisa.Jusuf, give her a follow because she's doing such an amazing job here today, particularly on our 6th episode of After Class, where we are having quite some difficulties joining up with Bibi Aysha Bhyat all the way in Qatar. It is our first international interviewee. And I was so excited to get an international perspective here on After Class, but unfortunately I am getting an invitation I'm going to accept. Unfortunately, it's not let's wait and see. Thank you to the 12 very loyal, very loyal viewers who are sitting through all of this. I'm so appreciative of it. This is a first for me as well. Okay, so that's my producer. I don't know if you can hear her, Aysha, trying to get in touch with Bibi Aysha on voice. They were texting, they have been texting this whole time. And can I cut this video call and start again? Okay, she says I should just keep rolling. So I'm just gonna keep rolling. And hopefully this will be it. On the YouTube video, when I upload this, I am going to cut all of this out, this babble on my side, but you will be able to watch it and rewatch it and rewatch it on the IGTV, on IGTV, because I won't be able to edit this before I post it. I really don't mind. We're just waiting. So Bibi Aysha Bhyat, if you want to follow her on Instagram, she's at BIBS_Aysha Bibsia. I'll say it again, at Bibsia. We're getting so many lovely viewers, but we're having some technical difficulties joining with Bibi Aysha Bhyat, unfortunately, and my producer is working tirelessly. I don't think I've ever worked her so hard, but thankfully my sister and dear producer, Aysha, is trying to get in touch with. Tell us why you enjoy teaching. I don't know if that question is for me or for Bibi Aysha, but I'm going to go for it because I'm the only one here now. So I enjoy teaching because it keeps me grounded. It is a daily reminder of where I personally came from and where I'm personally headed to. And I've gained so many side skills besides the actual teaching. I've become a bit more consistent in my life because, as you know, if you're a teacher and you're not consistent, then you're not going to be able to manage very well in your class, etc. So I've become generally a more consistent person. I find teaching incredibly rewarding. When the little insight I do get of the learners that I teach gives me, you know, in a learner's eyes, you can basically see their whole life. And when they walk into school and you see them carrying that backpack and coming into school, you know, you think to yourself, okay, you can see the backpack as their baggage, but what other baggage are they actually entering school with? And once you get to know the learners and you get to know their families and you get to know their stories, then you do recognize each person's extra baggage, you know, and you try to help children like that deal with whatever it is they're dealing with, and also to, you know, succeed and work through it and empower themselves to be better and to do better. I've got so many comments here now. I have a comment from Bibs_D again. The love for kids and watching each child grow and progress in such wonderful ways, and learning from the kids and colleagues as well. Most definitely. And a lot of life lessons, perseverance and patience, most definitely. Most definitely. I think I learned some of those lessons as a mother when I became a mother, and then I learned them again when I became a teacher. So if you are interested in a wellness journal, then this one that I created is called the Mindfulness and Lifestyle Journal and Planner for Teachers. And the thing about this journal is that it's undated, meaning that it's not dated for a specific year, which means you can basically start that your wellness journey at any time of the year. You start in the middle of the year, it's perfectly fine. And the journal helps you to... How are we going to do this? Oh, okay. So I'll be speaking live here, and Assalamu alaikum, Bibi Aysha, and I'll be speaking. Okay, so I'll just update the viewers on what we're doing here. So the viewers will be able to see me, and they'll probably be able to hear you, hopefully. If somebody can give me a thumbs up, I'm going to ask Bibi Aysha a few questions. If you can hear her, then just give us a thumbs up, and we'll continue like this. How is this on FaceTime? So we're FaceTiming on one phone and doing the Instagram live on the other, and I've never done anything like this before. Jazakallah, Bibi Aysha, for joining us. Make us smile for all the technical difficulties and that.
I guess that's why we are teachers and we're not IT technicians.
Most definitely. Yes, if we were IT technicians, yes.
I'm so used to having a full-on IT department that I call on for everything here. So even the simplest thing is charging my battery, sometimes I need to call one of them.
Oh, okay. That's amazing that you have that kind of support where you are. Oh, I'm getting some thumbs up from the listeners, which means that they can hear you. So that's perfect. We'll just go like this. And my poor producer and sister, please follow her. She's doing an amazing job. She's holding the phone so that I can see both of you. Thank you, Aysha.
Well done.
So, Bibi Aysha, I have babbled on and on about myself and you. if you can maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself before we begin.
Okay. Well, like you can see from the Instagram, I've been blessed with amazing students along the way. There's a lot of them that have joined there, and I really appreciate their support and their encouragement and their love. Their success is my success. From the girls that have joined there, from the people that have joined there are teachers there. There's one teacher there that has just won a national award in South Africa recently. There's OT specialists. There's teachers that were at the forefront. There are people there that were at the forefront of the COVID pandemic. So, alhamdulillah, my teaching journey, I'm humbled and I'm blessed.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. That have grown up adults. I'm blessed, alhamdulillah, that Allah's given me the ability to do what I love to do.
Oh, that's so beautiful the way you put it, my darling. And tell me, did you always want to be a teacher, or how did you end up there or in the industry?
I guess from young, yes, I did. Along the way, you inspired by many different people. And yes, by default, I think pretty much this is who I've been. It's my identity, and this defines who I am.
So you've been a teacher now for well over 20 years, am I right?
Yeah.
So looking back now, and you've been in Qatar for 12 years. I'm just trying to get this right. So
about just under 10 years.
Under 10 years. Okay, so did you see yourself staying in Qatar for so long?
No, so I was teaching in Benoni Muslim school for 10 years. That was home. I built beautiful relationships. I've grown as an adult and as a teacher there. But after 10 years, we needed something different. I needed a new challenge, and I needed a new professional development. And that was the reason we decided to move to Qatar. When we moved to Qatar, it was a choice, or it was a decision of 1.5 years. That was our target. Doha, mashallah, is a beautiful place to live in. It gets into your heart. My development as a teacher has been phenomenal over the last 10 years. And it's just become home. I miss my immediate family. I miss my family, my friends, my community. But Doha, I've created a different family here as well. So alhamdulillah, it's been an amazing journey here.
Alhamdulillah, that's such so much positivity, mashallah. What would you say are your greatest accomplishments thus far?
So I started off as a teacher in South Africa. In South Africa, I was head of department for social studies professionally now. I was head of department for social studies, life orientation in arts and culture. When I moved to Doha, I moved from a secondary teacher into a year 6 homeroom teacher. So here we teach all the subjects, and I taught year 6 which would pretty much be a head of department. Okay. And this year, I've moved from an all-girls school to an all-boys school as the deputy head. So for me, I would say my greatest accomplishment has been, along the years, has been building relationships. It has been able to capitalize on the skills and the knowledge of people around me and utilize that to become a better teacher and a better practitioner.
MashaAllah, beautiful. Just to update the people who have joined us, I'm speaking to Bibi Aysha on a video call on one phone, and I'm doing the live with you on the other phone because we were having some technical issues at the beginning. But if you can hear, just put a thumbs up so we know we're still on the right track. Bibi Aysha, what is a typical day in your life?
A typical day in my life. So schooling here in Doha starts pretty early. Being part of the senior management team, I'm in school by 6:15.
Wow.
Typically, the senior management team stands at the entrance. We are welcoming the teachers and we're welcoming the kids in. Wow. The reason for that, we establish a very positive, welcome environment. It also helps us to be able to assess student needs as they're coming in, their emotional well-being. We're able to look and connect with our teachers, their emotional well-being, teachers that have been absent, teachers that have not been personal things that have been happening in their life. We're able to connect with them on a very early morning. It gives us a feel of the general what will the day look like. We're also very quickly able to problem solve and be proactive rather than reactive. That's pretty much my day. Then the day starts off as a deputy head. I like to make a walk around, connect with people, check up on people. It's a lot of problem solving. Generally in the morning, we get an influx of parents coming in, parental complaints, parental requests. So seeing to those things. My day is pretty much at the moment set up with a lot of meetings, scheduled meetings. So it's checking in with the social workers, checking in with my line manager, the head of primary, checking in with the assistant heads for each phase below me. We've got subject leads, so checking in on them. It's my role is it's besides operational, it's also strategic. So it's also implementing things moving forward. We have about 800 secondary and then about another 400 early years. So it's a large school that works together. So there's a lot of collaboration, coordination, supporting each other. But the beautiful thing is that I'm working for a company that is very forward-thinking. For instance, when the COVID pandemic hit and all schools had to improvise to online teaching, we'd already had those processes into place because our CEO had the vision of turning our school into a completely online environment. So the fact that I work for a company that has so much foresight means as a deputy head, I've got to spend a lot of my time with strategizing, implementing new processes, following up on processes, monitoring, evaluating. That's pretty much my day.
Wow.
With a little bit of eating and sleeping.
That is an incredibly busy day, and I don't think I've ever had that kind of an answer to that question before. But I mean, well done on everything that you achieved day to day. And I would love to get more into that, definitely. But we'll just keep moving. Who would you say is your teacher muse, a teacher that inspired you or still inspires you in your life?
Wow, there's been loads. Of course, the first inspiration was my parents. My dad has a background of being a Mulana and teaching in a madrasa, so he's always brought that home and inspired us there. My mom, at her feet, we learned a lot. Her kindness, her patience, those were my inspirations. But moving forward, along the way, so alhamdulillah, right now in Doha, I've been very blessed. Two South African teachers that I've worked with, Ms. Nadia Waja, Ms. Farhana Ibrahim, both from South Africa. Ms. Nadia is the head of primary at the girls' school. Ms. Farhana is the deputy head. They've been very, very instrumental in me gaining my confidence and me being able to push myself out of my comfort zone. In South Africa, at the Benoni Muslim School, there's been Ms. Nazia Ali, Ms. Rehana Patel, Ms. Maulana Asfat, Maulana Rabat. There's been a number of people that have come into my life at different times and have shown me and inspired me.
That's...
It's you as a person wanting to try and see good in others. You will see that and you'll be able to learn from that. You can choose what you want to absorb from other people.
Yes, most definitely, most definitely. Just for the benefit of the viewers, we had a comment, and I also think it's a bit bittersweet that we're doing it this way. If we could, it would be amazing if we could hear a little better. This is an informative live. You are powerhouse boss ladies, alhamdulillah. And for that, I am going to take time out of my day tomorrow and create a complete transcript of this entire interview so that we don't lose a single word that Bibi Aysha shared with us. And I'll be putting that up on my blog, and I'll post it on my Instagram as soon as that's ready. Because this is, I mean, this is amazing. The things you are sharing with us, the perspective that you have brought here to After Class. And I really don't want any of the viewers to lose out. So you've been around for quite a while on the teaching scene. What would you say are your teacher goals, now?
Survival?
Your teacher goals.
Survival, pretty much survival with everything that's going on. No, alhamdulillah. Probably, I see myself in this position for a good couple of years, or the next few years. Eventually, I see myself returning to South Africa, inshallah. My dad and my mom had their way. I'll be back tomorrow. But I see myself coming back to South Africa. And what I want to be able to bring back is what I've learned here is to be able to empower teachers in South Africa. I find from my conversations, I may be completely wrong. And I may be very ignorant in my comments. But what I'm finding is that there's a sense of negativity and despondency in teaching in South Africa. And I'd like to be able to come back and to reignite that passion and to reignite the understanding of the responsibility that we have as teachers and the ability that we have to make a difference. That's what I'd like to, eventually, if I come back to South Africa, I'd love to open up, this is me now sharing quite a bit of my personal stuff, but I'd love to be able to open up a coaching, to be able to coach and support teachers to be better,
the best versions of themselves. That's an awesome goal to have. I wish you every bit of luck with that, my darling. And when you do eventually come back to South Africa, I would personally love to meet you. You spoke a lot about your school when we spoke about your typical daily routine, and I did pick up a bit of the culture of the school. Is there anything you would like to add about the culture of the school you're at?
The school that I work at is a very demanding, to be quite honest, it's a very demanding school. The expectations are quite high. The targets are quite high. We're aiming to be one of the best international schools in Qatar. Our market is predominantly, well, 99.9% Qatari students. So we're an international British school that is catering to the needs of the Qatari students. So the expectations and the targets here are quite high. We understand that the responsibility we have is the future leaders of Qatar. And the company that I work for has a vision of making Al-Maha Academy for girls, Al-Maha Academy for boys, and Al Jazeera the best institution around Qatar, offering quality education for future leaders.
Alhamdulillah, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing to be able to work in that environment and absorb so much from that.
Of course, it comes with its challenges. I mean, the demands are really high. Monitoring is regular and rigorous. So it is tough. It's very demanding. So that that's why we got to put your 100% into it.
Most definitely. So generally, as a teacher, in your so many years of teaching experience, what would you say are some of your major teaching challenges or challenges that you've experienced generally as a teacher?
I think the main challenge, because I taught in South Africa, I taught in a Muslim school, which is a slightly more affluent community. I've also done the Saturday classes for the underprivileged kids in the Benoni area. I then moved to Qatar here with a completely different dynamics. I would say the biggest challenge for me is adaptability, is being able to adapt to the kids that are currently in your school. Is being willing to be flexible for what you are now faced with, and especially with COVID, that has taught us is the ability for us to be flexible, to be innovative, to be creative, and to be able to find different ways of reaching different students.
Most definitely, most definitely. So the impact, then my next question would have been, how have the past 18 months or so impacted on your work? And then let's also talk about your home life. Since I need to say 20 months now, it's no more 18 months.
So Qatar immediately went into complete lockdown. So we went completely online. So our kids had full-on face-to-face live lessons via Microsoft Teams. Yeah. With our summer holidays. When we came back from the summer holidays, we went into a blended learning where it was 1 day in, 1 day out. We've only just 3 weeks ago gone in school.
Okay.
It was a very gradual implementation. But what I can say is that we were fully embraced, and we've been very lucky, is that our kids here have the resources to be able to go fully online.
Yes.
So most of all our kids from year 4 to year 6 already have their own personal tablets. So they were able to use that. The lower primary students, year 1, 2, and 3, we had pre-recorded videos, which we were sending home, but they needed to submit that using Class Dojo or Seesaw. So the last, going back to your question, remind me again what's your question. I started babbling on without listening.
So how has COVID impacted your work and home life?
Home life, jobs were closed, restaurants were closed. So it was also learning to enjoy your own self, learning to enjoy your own space. My husband and I learning to spend more time together. Alhamdulillah, what I did enjoy about it slowed down life. It made life a lot calmer. Wasn't the need to go out. There weren't the big functions and the social responsibilities. I loved that. But I did miss. I missed the kids coming into school. It was very, at FMT, we went in daily throughout the COVID. And it was very depressing to walk down those corridors and to just hear eerie silence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been really enjoying the last 3 weeks where we've had 100% of our kids come back in. The laughter, the joy, the happiness, the song, the singing, the engagement with the kids. Of course, there is a challenge of keeping your mask up all the time, ensuring the thing. The behavior issues that are now picking up because these kids, for 2 years, they didn't have the social development of problem solving, resolutions, communication skills. So we've learned to start, we've gone back in time to be able to build those relationships and build those social skills.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So I'm interested to know that your learners only arrived back at school 3 weeks ago. With 100% 3 weeks ago. Okay, so have you noticed that any change in their abilities or attitudes post-COVID, post-lockdown and things?
So a large focus for us, remember our academic year starts in August.
Yes.
So a large focus has been analyzing the gap analysis, understanding what are the gaps that the students have academically that they missed out on over the last year, but also the social gaps, the emotional gaps. And that's been a key focus for us right now, is working on closing those gaps. We're looking at our year 1 students that have come in from EYFS early years, is the early learning goals, the use of the scissors, your fine motor skills, gross motor skills. So it's developing of those, modifying our current curriculum to be able to ensure that there's opportunities for us to be able to adapt to their needs. We're looking at the year 5s and 6s. These boys, over the last 2 years, it's their social skills, the cooperation, respect for one another, the order, the structure. A lot of our kids, when they're at home, they left to the nannies or the caregivers. So it's also the structure, the routine, discipline, listening to following directions, those type of things. So it's bringing those type of structures back into their life.
Yes, most definitely. I think you went A to Z with all of those. I'm just going to update some of our new viewers. I know you're looking for where the voice is coming from. I'm doing a FaceTime, with Bibi Aysha on one phone, and I've got the live on Instagram happening on the other phone here. Because we were having some technical issues at the end. There are some questions that have been coming up that we haven't been paying attention to, but I will get to them at the end, inshallah. Bibi Aysha, have you noticed then, I started this after-class series with the intention of bringing some awareness to the mental health of teachers. And so I'm wondering then if you have noticed a change in your own mental health since the onset of COVID. Should I repeat that?
Okay, I lost you.
Okay, no, I'll say it again. So I said I started after class with the intention, with the aim of bringing some awareness to the mental health of teachers. And so I was wondering then if you have noticed any changes in your own mental health since COVID, or even before that. You've been in the game long enough.
The greatest challenge for us, not just as teachers, but anybody living in Qatar, meant that we were unable to travel, especially last year, July. Most of us do the annual migration to South Africa or back home to see our families.
Right.
And for us here in Qatar, that meant that majority of the people had not seen their family in 18 months. And that took a large emotional toll on a lot of teachers and a lot of people here. Because during those 18 months, there were people that had gotten sick. People had lost family members, and we were unable to fly out at all. And that sense of isolation and the sense of just not having control over your life was something that really affected a lot of teachers. And we, as senior management, that was one of our tasks, was to be able to ensure that we understood the needs of our teachers and we were there to support them. But when you're talking about well-being, because I've seen that that's your aim is to promote teacher wellness and to support teachers in their journey. The first thing that I really want to make very clear is that there seems to be an idea out there that because it's a half-day job. Let me go into teaching because I get the holidays. And I want to make that very, very clear that teaching is a passion. It's a all-consuming job. There is no cut-off time for teachers. I know very, very few teachers around the world that actually leave school on time, or teachers who don't work during the weekends. There's no cut-off time for teaching. At night when you go to bed, you're thinking of those kids. You're getting up extra early in the morning. Today is a Friday here. It's a public holiday. But I've already had this morning 4 calls from my teachers to say they want to go into work.
Yeah, it's most definitely, teaching is more of a lifestyle than a job, right?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. So, Bibi Aysha, let's talk about then winding down techniques. What helps you to wind down? Do you have any private rituals that you do at the end of a very busy, particularly long day? Some tools or techniques that can help others, please?
Okay, so there are certain things that are non-negotiables in my life. It's not always possible. I sacrifice that at certain times because of the demand. But twice a week I go for swimming.
That's nice.
During those times, it means I cut off from the world. It means I am in the water and I'm not thinking about anything else.
Right.
I also go regularly to the gym, which means that at that time my phone is far away. At the ladies' gym here, you've got to leave your phone on the outside before you enter.
Okay.
So I time out for myself. No manager, nobody else is going to make that time for me. I've got to choose to make that time for me. But the best thing is at the end of the long day is you have your cup of green tea and you're sitting on your sofa and you just blank out for a couple of minutes. That's my best time of the day.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And it's surprising the number of teachers who actually do that with a cup of tea, and the many answers that I get that include the word tea in it. It's amazing.
It's a cup of tea.
So, yes? Sorry, are you cut off? Sorry, can you repeat that?
How do you manage calming down and finding your space?
Yes, for many years my me time was my study time, and it sounds a bit weird to people when I say it, but it was something that I was doing just for myself, and it actually calmed me down. And when I eventually, a few years ago when there was no more studying to do, I did find a blank in my life, and so that's when I started paying more attention to my blog and things. I think writing really calms me down, getting my thoughts down. I do try to journal as much as I can, privately as well as just, on the blog, things like that. And now Yeah, so I'm also going to mention the cup of tea at the end of a long day because it is true. But mine is nothing fancy, just a normal cup of Ceylon tea, but in the quiet once the kids are asleep, and then that's my me time. So most definitely need to wind down at the end of the day. Um, before we close up, Shame Isa here is still holding the phone, and her arm is probably very sore. I'm gonna go.
Yes,
I'm gonna go.
definitely a miss.
So Razina Arbi says, is it more stressful teaching in Qatar or in South Africa? I think you
It's different.
different.
Stresses are completely different. Teaching is stressful immaterial where you are. The demands are different. If I look at South Africa, your demands are very different, especially if you're teaching in a state school. You're dealing with socioeconomic issues there. You're dealing with kids that are underprivileged. You're dealing with kids that have not eaten well for the day. You're dealing with a large number of kids, right? In South Africa, in Doha, what you're dealing with a lot here is a lot of paperwork, right? So it's a...
Oh gosh, we've just lost Bibi Aysha, and if you have been with us for a while, you would know that we have been speaking to Bibi Aysha, unfortunately not on this live video that you've been looking at, but on a FaceTime video on another phone on the side, because we had endless issues at the beginning of the session where Bibi Aysha found it very difficult to join from her side. And so I got a comment here about the karak tea. Most definitely, I have tried that, but I do prefer my plain old cup of tea. But that's amazing that you have, you know, that lovely, can I say, sensual relationship with tea, and all of those flavors and scents help you to wind down. Unfortunately, I have lost Bibi Aysha on that call. And for the benefit of everybody, for myself firstly, I'm going to be creating a transcript of this entire video, because the information and experience that was shared by Bibi Aysha today is invaluable, and I would definitely you know, do us both a disservice if I didn't pen her words down and put it up on my blog. So once that's done, I will put up something on my Instagram to let you know that it's ready and you can go and have it. Give you a few hours or days to do it though, because it's a long video. And you know, if it wasn't this technical issue, it would be load shedding, and so we're just thankful that we at least had a video today. I will try, most definitely. I haven't spoken to Aysha, but you all publicly can know that I would definitely like to chat with Bibi Aysha again, and maybe I'll do a pre-recorded session this time where we can chat ourselves and then upload it here for the benefit of all of you. So thank you so much. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to your questions. But Shane, Bibi Aysha, thank you, Wahida, for the opportunity. Most welcome, Bibi Aysha. I would absolutely love to do this again with you sometime, hopefully in a better way. But I'm just so glad that we got this episode 6 done. And thank you, my darling, for the invaluable information and you know, perspective that you shared with us. So Jazakallah to everybody for joining us, and thank you for you know, sticking with it through all the ups and downs. I have another one. Jazakallah for sharing your experiences with us. May Allah accept the efforts of all the teachers all over the world. Ameen. Jazakallah for inspiring us and being so awesome, Bibi Aysha. Jazakallah to Bibs_D for your comments throughout the video. And Jazakallah also to the others who shared comments, and I make maaf that I didn't get to them. I had one of the pros and cons of having kids learn online for majority of the lockdown. I think we did talk a little bit about that. Definitely a challenge, especially last year and the current year. Most definitely, I think worldwide, that was an issue. It would be amazing if we could hear it. I did read that one out earlier. I'm just going to scroll up because I'm going to be losing all of these comments once I switch off this video. So for the benefit of the transcript, I'm just going to go and read them. Their innocence, their minds like sponges, the way they look at you with admiration is a joy to be a part of, most definitely. I think that was a comment that was put down when we were talking about, you know, why we enjoy teaching. And a lot of life lessons, perseverance, patience, most definitely. The love for kids and watching each child grow and progress in such wonderful ways and learning from the kids and colleagues as well. People were patiently waiting for their teachers, and I see here that Bibi Aysha has a lot of fans, a lot of people who follow her, who were once her Bibi Aysha's own learners, who have now taken the path of teaching, mashallah. I do hope I mentioned everything. That's it, inshallah. And then there were some questions at the beginning about being able to, or how to go about applying, using recruiting agencies and things like that. Razina Arbi was kind enough to put some information there, and I will try to get some information, and if anybody wants to share any information, DM me and I'll make it live and you know, publicize it for everybody. I've had the honor of meeting Bibi Aysha, and I must say she's extremely inspiring and creative in the classroom, mashallah. Thank you, TASY13, for that comment. Unfortunately, I personally have not had an honor of meeting Bibi Aysha before this video, but I would definitely now love to meet her and knock heads with her about all sorts of teachery things. How has technology impacted teaching in South Africa and in other countries? That was a question. I'm just reading it out for the benefit of the transcript later. Is it more stressful teaching in South Africa or now? Inshallah. I think I read those ones at the very beginning. Jazakallah to one and all for joining us. Make us mark for the shortcomings in this video. And inshallah, till next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.